I just did a book review, but I literally just moved my camera over here so that you guys wouldn't get confused. So many of you know who follow my social media. I just recently did a book tour, my first one, and I was really excited. It was really amazing. It was perfect, especially for my first one. So what I'm actually going to go over today is kind of why I decided to do a book tour and how you can kind of get your first book tour started, especially if you're an independent artist, which I am. I don't have a traditional publisher to set these things up for me. So every single thing that I did by myself with my own money. So we're going to go over that. So number one, why did I do a book tour? I did a book tour for personal reasons. I mean, number one, I really, and it's hard to admit to oneself when you kind of feel like you need something to kind of prove that you're doing the right thing for yourself in your career. But I felt like I needed to do something like this to really be like, girl, this is your career. You need to put yourself out there. You need to do things. You need to get them done. And that's out of that. Things aren't going to just happen from you being at home. So that was kind of the number one reason why I did that. I need to show myself that this was not just a hobby. It wasn't just not going to go anywhere. It was going to become something. So that, and my second reason is again, it, aside from it being like, you know, like a self-esteemish type of thing, I also felt like it does legitimize me. As an author, I needed to establish, you know, connections. I needed to do the networking. Because again, as an independent artist, you don't get those opportunities. You have to go for them yourself. They're not just going to come to you. So, you know, establishing those connections were very important. And, you know, getting to know the audience in other places, that's super dope too. So that's pretty much honestly why I did it. Now we'll go into the how, which is a little uh, longer. um, Number one, decide which book you're going to promote. If you have multiple books, I decided to go with Maxwell. It's next to Mother Mikan and A War of the Realms. It's actually my bestseller. A lot of people like it. I mean, I'm not saying it's the best, but I'm also not saying it's the worst. I'm saying it's perfect. uh, Excuse me. No, but yeah, so I decided to go with Maxwell. And plus, I thought that was kind of like a fun book to really kind of get out there because even though I mostly write dark fantasies, was a thriller and it was a twist on like the typical type of things. Like I really wanted people to see like, oh, you know, there's this black queen out there just killing people, just killing people. Um, and you know, it sounds crazy, but if you're an author, you understand, or if you're like me, you just like, you know, serial killer stuff and everything. It's cool. It's cool. So, so yeah, chose the book. Number one. Number two, uh, pick a pick a region. Pick a region of the world in which you kind of want to go to. Because from there, after you pick your region, I chose the West Coast, specifically because the flights are short, and it was just a lot easier financially to do so. In case I had a lot of places to go to, so that leads to the next point. Pick a budget. A budget's very important, and I'm gonna say this a lot in this video because it's just facts. Being an independent artist, once again, you can't depend on anybody else. You pretty much just have yourself. So my tour was funded by me. You have to account for when you're planning your budget. You have to account for the copies of books that you have to order yourself. Any merch that you want to give away with the books. Business cards. You want to get business cards, absolutely, because you want to give these business cards to the hotel staff, to people that you may talk to on a plane, to the actual like shop itself. And keep in mind when you're also getting the quantity of books, a lot of times the stores will actually want to buy some copies. So you've got to keep that in mind. Um, Also with the budget, you got to think about the actual flight itself. Any Uber or Lyft costs you may come across, any food expenses, um, pretty much just stuff like that. Um, and your budget as well goes to your outfit, which a lot of people don't think about. Because sometimes you'll be like, oh, I'll just wear this old little thing, but sometimes you don't want to wear your old little thing. Sometimes you end up thinking, you know, maybe I want to just like do something, wear something cute. um, so yeah, you've got that. Uh, Also, with your budget, you kind of have to decide on your baggage. And that's so important because it's the real determinant of if you're going to have to ship something or if you're going to have to pay for carry-on luggage or anything like that. I flew Spirit, and everyone knows Spirit's the cheapest. But I didn't care because the places where I was going were just like so close. It was only just like an hour and a half flight, so I was cool. But I was able to put all of my books in there along with just like a change of clothes because I just did like a 24-hour flight, which again goes into the budgeting. Just make your flight, get in, get out. It doesn't always have to be a long vacation. Um, Make sure you choose hotels that offer like free food or free airport transport. That's super, super important in cutting down that budget, you guys. Like that can easily save you $80. Like if the hotel I chose, I went with Homewood Suites, and they they had free airport transport, they had free breakfast and free dinner, homie. But in addition to that, I also packed some food because on planes you can actually bring food with you. So I brought some cookies and I made a few sandwiches actually so that I can eat at the airport and when I got to the hotel, because actually I didn't know they had free dinner when I got there. So consider these options, which I know they sound cheap, but when you really get down to breaking everything down, it all adds up. And also, another reason why I say think about your budget is because when you're pitching yourself to different stores, you never know how many you're going to say yes, how many you're going to say no. I had two say yes, which was awesome. And that's for different reasons, actually. Because a lot of stores will not accept a self published author if they are not local or a self published author at all. It's very difficult. People hate on us, guys. It's not easy. It's not easy to put yourself out there. Like, that's gonna be the next thing. Number 3, shop around for bookstores. So my best advisement is to shop around for bookstores that are within reach or the distance of your hotel. Because you don't want to pay $60 to go one way in Uber and then have to get all the way back and you have to tip just for no reason, you know what I mean? Because you never know how many books you're gonna sell. Less like high key, you don't know. So yeah, pick one that's like reasonable distance. I chose hotels that were like 10-15 minutes away, so it wasn't too bad. But yeah, when you're pitching to people, my best advisement would be to draft a kind of standard email and then to customize it as you like email per person. Maybe mention a store name. If for some reason in the contacts they have who you're reaching out to, address that person. And for me, what worked for me was having more of like a business casual tone. Like, hey, I'm about my business, but also, how are you? I'd be pleased to work with you. This would be amazing. You know what I mean? You have to show some excitement over your art, yourself, and being at their location. Like, don't be like ridiculous with it, but show some appreciation. You know what I mean? Let's see here. So after you've done all your pitches and everything like that, definitely keep a log of who you message, which I know that sounds so simple. I know, I promise you, I know that sounds so simple, but you'll forget because a lot of times also in these emails, the name's either condensed or I don't know, you just forget. It happens. We're human. So definitely keep like a log of which places you emailed, the date that you emailed them, and if you're going to send a follow-up email, the date of your follow-up email. Just keep yourself organized. I'm very type A. Keep it as organized as possible. I kept a list and it kept me like really organized and focused and everything like that. Excuse me. I've been talking for 9 minutes. Of course a burp was going to come up. Next thing, when you have your stores that confirm that you can come, also in your pitch, don't forget to actually put like the cover of your book as well in there and your synopsis. That's important. You don't have to put your sales and stuff in there. A lot of people will respect that's private information, but yeah. But anyway, so after that, you've got everything confirmed. You've got your stores ready, locked up, ready to go. Do your promotions. Do your promotions on all the social media that you possibly can because that's how everybody hears about everything these days. Like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook if you've got it. Just do it everywhere that you can. You never know who you may reach. Ooh, I also did what I ended up doing is I also put my event on sites like Eventbrite, like basically the local sites that will let you put your event on for free. Definitely go ahead and sign up for that. Do that. I mean, it could help. I mean, you never know. Because there may be somebody in that city who's like, oh, I really want to do something artsy. I want to do something different. I want to explore something. That would be dope for them. They would be happy to do it. And, you could have not only, made a sale, you could have made a permanent customer for all your additional books. So keep that in mind. Uh, After your social media post, just again make sure you follow up with the books that did confirm and just say, hey, how are you? Just making sure I'm confirmed. Make sure that you ask them what materials they need you to bring. So important because some places will need you to bring your own stuff. Like you've got to bring your prints, you've got to bring obviously your books. Depending on the store, some people won't have like tablecloths and stuff for you, so make sure you bring that stuff too. Make sure you bring pens. Please make sure you bring. I at one book festival, I brought all the pens I brought. The ink dried out. Thank God my mom had an extra pen, so I had to use that. But do that, and also don't pre-sign anything. If someone's coming out to your event as an indie author, you kind of like owe it to them to kind of personalize it and get that moment a little special. You don't want to just be like, here's a signed book. No, you want to make that moment special. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I personally had a really awesome time doing my book tour. I called it the Maxwell Mayhem Tour. It made it more exciting for me, which you are important. Please don't forget that when you're making your tour. You as a person, you as a business person are important. So make sure you feel good about everything that you're doing. Have no regrets. And at the end of the day, even if no one comes, you still did it. You still had a tour. You did something for yourself. You did something for your business. I'm proud of you. If you make a tour, please let me know. If you guys come to Vegas, please let me know. I'd be so happy to show up and show you support and buy your book. But don't have a $25 book because that's just rude. But yeah, that's it. If you guys have any questions, I'll happily answer them in the comments. Yeah, but that's it. Thanks for watching.